This is incredible. My wife, Pearl, and I are so excited to be here and to walk in here and see the energy and the juice and the jerseys and the smiles on the faces and everybody running around having fun. This is an incredible event and something we're so excited to be a part of. Okay, before we get started, we need to do something. I need all the kids, all the student athletes to stand up. Okay, so here's what I want you guys to do. I want you guys to give a round of applause to all the people who are sitting at the table with you. Your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your grandmother, your grandfather, your aunt, your uncle. A round of applause. I want to hear a round of applause. Because what I'm sure you guys don't fully realize at your age, and I certainly didn't realize it when I was your age, is the sacrifices that your mom, your dad, your sisters, your brothers, your aunts, your uncles, your grandparents make to give you guys the opportunity to put those jerseys on and have the incredible experience you've had. So a big round of applause for them right now. Okay, now I want everybody else at those tables, the moms, the dads, the aunts, the uncles, the sisters, the grandparents, to stand up. Kids too, you stay standing. You stay standing. Now everybody should be standing. And I want you guys to give a round of applause to all these people up here. Thank you so much. You guys can sit. I'm passionate about this. I'm passionate about this for this reason. When I walked in this room, I had a chill down my back. I had a chill down my back when I walked in the room. Because I reflected back on being 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 years old and playing football like you guys played football. I played for St. Anne's, a CYO league in Cleveland Heights, Ohio. We moved from Louisiana to Cleveland when I was in 7th grade. And I was an aspiring quarterback. I wanted to be a quarterback. I thought I was a quarterback. I thought I could throw it. I thought I was the guy. I went to the first practice. They gave me number 72. And they said you're going to play right guard. I'm like, I'm a quarterback. Now you're a right guard. That's what I was. St. Anne's had a great tradition of football. We had real helmets, Rydell helmets. We played our games on Sunday afternoon. We had film sessions. We practiced every day. They gave us stars in the back of our helmets when we were kids. It was the greatest thing ever. But I was a right guard. I'm playing right guard. It took me a little while to realize that I wasn't a quarterback, that I was playing guard. But I would say one of my fondest memories in football as a player, as a coach, happened in week 7 against St. Wenceslaus. The St. Anne Sabres were 6-0. St. Wenceslaus was 6-0. This was going to be the game that was going to determine the title. The East Side Championship of the CYO. We played on a Sunday afternoon. It was 1 o'clock at Cleveland Heights High School. They had these two guys. You know all the defenses they play in the NFL now where they have these guys standing in the A-gaps, you know all that stuff? Have you seen that? St. Wenceslaus was doing this 40 years ago. They had number 37 and number 39. They were the biggest guys on the team, and they would stand up there right next to the quarterback, and they were killing people. Killing people. I was the right guard. They were standing right in my gap. The game's going back and forth. No offense can get generated. Middle of the 4th quarter. We have the ball on the 26-yard line going in. The score is 0-0. We call quick opener right. My good buddy Ronnie Such, to this day, he's the tackle. He calls aquamarine. You know what aquamarine was? It was our signal for a cross block. Meaning I was going to block out, he was going going to block down on that big guy in the A-gap. We ran a quick opener right to Timmy Shea with an aquamarine cross block call. He broke through the line of scrimmage, ran 26 yards for a touchdown. We beat St. Wenceslas 6-0. We went on to win the city championship with Cleveland when I was 12 years old. It was one of the great highlights of my life. So I walk in these doors, I'm like, that's all I could think about. And I say this to say this. That was a long time ago. That was a long time ago. But I remember like it was yesterday. The impact that it had on me was significant. And as I was driving up here, I was thinking about you guys and the experience that I had many years ago doing this and why it was so impactful on me. Why it's something I get emotional about. To this day, what were the lessons learned by playing CYO football, Pop Warner football, junior high football? What are the lessons? And there are two of them. To me, it's the first time in my life I learned how to fight. And when I say fight, I'm not talking about fighting, punching with some guy in the street or your brother or your teammate. That's not the kind of fight I'm talking about. The kind of fight I'm talking about is fighting to be your best. Our coaches were hard on us. They were tough on us. We all wanted to go away. And they instilled in us some fight. We used to do 6 inches. Remember 6 inches? You lay on the ground, you have your feet up for 6 inches. They say 6 inches, and you have to bang your belly and do all this stuff. We wanted to put our legs down. They taught us to fight. They taught us to fight, to compete, to run to the ball, and to battle. And when it's 0-0 against St. Wenceslas, keep fighting, keep battling. And I say this because it changes your life when you learn to do this. When you learn to fight to be your best, it ain't about football. It's about life. When that math homework starts to get a little hard, and I'm not really a science guy, and something goes on in your life that you struggle with, maybe something happens to your buddy or somebody in your family, and it's hard, you learn how to fight through it. And that's what I learned when I was young. You learn how to fight. And your coaches and teachers and your family, they're teaching you how to do that right now. And when you fight, you fight, you fight, and you become one of these championship teams, or you become one of these all-stars, the satisfaction is incredible. It's incredible. It's life-changing. And you'll remember it for a long, long time. The other thing I learned when I was your age was this. Somehow, some way, our coaches taught us leadership. They taught us how to lead. First, to lead ourselves. Do the things you need to do each day to lead yourself. But then have a positive impact on the people around you. That's what leadership is. And they taught us all to be leaders. Leaders on your football team. Leaders in your classroom. Leaders on the playground when somebody's beating some kid up and you step in there and say, hey, don't do that. That's not what we do around here. When your mom or dad says something to you and your little brother is not really following along, you lead him and you guide him. And you have a positive impact on him. That's what our coaches taught us way back when. They taught us to fight and they taught us to lead. And it ain't about football. It's not about football, it's about life. And so if you take those lessons with you, someday, somehow, you guys will be in a banquet like this. And you might be talking to a group of kids. And you'll be sharing the same messages because the impact that these opportunities that you guys have had to play youth football has done for you. That's what it did for me. That's what I'm talking about. And I want to finish with this. I've had the great fortune as a coach and a player in the National Football League to be around some amazing guys. Amazing guys, Hall of Fame players. Some of the young guys don't know these names, but Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, all these guys, they were my teammates way back then. And I'll keep going. Michael Strahan. Guys are just rare guys. And one of my favorite guys was a guy that we had in Dallas. We ended up drafting him in the 4th round. He was a quarterback out of Mississippi State named Dak Prescott. You guys know who Dak Prescott is? And I'm going to tell you a quick story about Dak, and then I'm going to sit down. Dak was a great youth player in Louisiana. Not good, great. He was fantastic. In leagues that you're playing in right now, he was the best player. And he went to high school, he was really good. He played quarterback. He too was an aspiring quarterback, and they let him play quarterback. They won the state championship, he was all this and all that. He wanted to play quarterback in the SEC. Nobody recruited to play quarterback in the SEC. They said, Dak, you're a linebacker. Dak, you're a tight end. Yeah, you can come here, but you're going to have to walk on. And so finally, at the end of the deal, Mississippi State, probably regarded as one of the lower SEC programs, they give him a shot. You can come play quarterback. And so the story goes like this. He gets to Mississippi State, and there's a group of freshmen that go in to meet the strength coach. The strength coach doesn't know any of these guys. He's just going to give them introduction on their weightlifting program. And so about 20 of these guys go in there, and the strength coach, after this half-an-hour meeting, calls the offensive coordinator. And he says, I don't know anything about these kids, but this guy, Prescott, keep an eye on him. He's a pretty special guy. And the coach said, what are you talking about? He said, I watched this guy for a half an hour, and all I know is this, they're all following him. Every one of these kids is following that guy. And if you know Dak's career, Dak went on to Mississippi State, changed that program, made him a national power. We drafted him in the 4th round, not in the 1st round, in the 4th round. And my experience with him was this. He was the most prepared guy. Nobody worked harder. Nobody was a better teammate. And nobody was a better leader than he was. And I asked him once, I said, well, where did this come from? Because as a coach, I couldn't take credit for it. That's who he was. That's who he was. He said, I played for a great coach in junior high. And he put me on the right track. He taught me how to work. He taught me how to fight. He taught me how to lead. So I know a lot of you guys are Giant fans. I certainly have been a Giant fan in my life. Some of you guys might be Cowboy fans. Yeah. But I encourage you guys. I encourage you guys to look at that example of that quarterback down there in Dallas, Dak Prescott. He was sitting in a chair like you guys are sitting in, and he decided to take heed to the lessons that he was learning and to put him on a path of hard work. Nobody worked harder than he did. Willingness to fight through adversity. It didn't always come easy to him. And then lead. Have a positive impact on the people around you. That's what he learned when he was your age. And this is what he's doing now. Changing people's lives. Okay? It's a tremendous honor to be here today. I can't thank you guys.